Live.
Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
You ready to try this again?
I'm ready.
Now that we got all the microphones and everything. Stupid Windows. Amy had a window update yesterday or the day before. It took 90 minutes for her to update the whole Office, brand new Office, Microsoft or whatever.
Yeah.
So, and then like all our email and everything's all messed up.
And everyone's hacking into the Office, too.
Why are they hacking into it?
Because they can.
We can't win in this world, Dan.
No.
We can't win. All right, here we go.
I don't know what this thing is. It could get a strip show.
Weren't there, dude.
I had it backwards. Hold on, I had it backwards. Second day on the job, right, Dan?
Are you new here?
Yes.
I don't know what this thing is. It could get a strip show.
Weren't there, dude.
Welcome back, guys. On today's show, I've been saying this my whole entire life, and now I've got an actual article that proves that I'm right. No food, no breaks, no picks for you. And what is the couch guy? And tonight, we feast. All this and much, much more will be discussed and explained here on DeaconLive. How are you? How are things? How are things going? Let me change the time that we started because my stupid computer did an update and knocked out all my ports and my portholes and all that. And speaking of portal, over my far right-hand side is IT Dan. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing a little better. Yesterday, I had some big projects. I was sanding railings and priming for 3 hours.
Sounds exciting, Dan. Sounds riveting.
Then I went home and dug up a tree stump.
Why? You had nothing else to do?
It was in the yard, and I told my wife I'd dig it up. I dug like a 4-foot round hole around the stump, cut all the roots out of it.
Why don't you just drill a hole in the middle of the thing and then let it like biodegrade?
Oh no, I'm going to put another plant in there. So I dug it all up and I attached it to my Kia. I didn't want to attach it to my new truck in case the chain broke and it went flying back and smashed the truck.
We've seen too many videos of that happening.
Yeah, so I used my Kia. I pulled it out. I got the stump out, and I had to push the stump back into the woods. And
back where it came from?
Yeah, and into my neighbor's property, the right thing to do. And I'm 67 years old, and I'm pushing this. It's an 11-inch across tree, which is like a 36 circumference if you use pi.
Sure.
And I'm pushing
Sounds
this thing.
about right.
I'm rolling this over. You know what pushing this is like? It's like rolling Rosie O'Donnell over trying to find a wet spot. It literally everything I could take. I had to channel my inner Bruce Banner to get this into the woods.
You're just dropping all the names, aren't you?
Yeah.
Why didn't you take water and rinse all the dirt and everything? I saw the picture. Why didn't you rinse all?
I knocked the dirt off with a shovel before I pushed it. I'm not crazy, but that was a chore pushing that into the woods.
Verdict's not out yet.
And I'm 67 years old, and I get done. And last night I'm thinking to myself, and I go, "How do you know when you're old?" And I said, I'm 67. I'm out here it was hot yesterday in the 80s.
Yeah.
I'm working there. I'm doing that. And I'm thinking, how do I know I'm old? And you know what I figured out?
What's that?
You're old when you stop playing Call of Duty and start playing PGA golf on the PlayStation.
Oh, so I did play 18 holes yesterday.
Yeah, you must have been exhausted.
I was exhausted. I played 18 holes on the new whatever the free game is on the PlayStation Network, and hey, it was relaxing. My wife's like, "Ooh, that looks so cool." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." And
how many people did you kill on the golf course?
I didn't kill anyone on the golf course.
Then why bother turning the machine on? Really?
Well, Dan, sometimes you need to relax. It's a mental release. It's a mind relaxation. You know, some people go fishing. Some people shoot people on Call of Duty. Some people play video golf, I guess. I don't know. Now, Dan, I'd like to stand before you to actually eat my words. Did we have a bet on any of this?
$2.
Did we have a $2 bet whether William Shatner would shit his pants or anything?
No. We didn't have a bet, but you got a short memory, so I can probably make $2 off of this.
But I did say he would shit his pants, and I said he's going to die. Well, fortunately, unfortunately, however you want to look at it, right now, let's listen to the man, the Rocket Man, from his mouth himself. Just landed from Blue Origin. This is what he had to say. Hold on.
Is the most profound experience I can imagine.
Oh, he's choked up.
Filled with emotion about what just happened.
What's going on?
It's extraordinary.
Oh,
Extraordinary.
hold on. There we go. Try that. Is that better?
I hope I never recover from this. I hope that I can maintain what I feel now. I don't want to lose it. It's so
He just got out of the capsule, and this is him talking to Jeff Bezos.
so much larger than me and life. And it hasn't got anything to do with the little green planet, the blue orb. And
There's people around, they're celebrating
it
and
has to do
stuff.
with the enormity and the quickness and the suddenness of life and death. And oh my
90 years old.
something.
It's so beautiful.
He's all choked up.
Beautiful, yes, beautiful in its way, but
No, I mean your words.
oh my word.
Jeff Bezos, oh, this is beautiful. Yes, beautiful. No, your words are beautiful there.
Even begin to express what what I would love to do is to communicate as much as possible. The
can't-
jeopardy.
He's completely flabbergasted. He said, there's between the Earth and the space is this thin sheet of blue layer that keeps oxygen in our planet. And he goes on and on here, friend. You can see the whole video. We'll post it on DeaconLive, and the way you see that is go over to properradio.com, click on DeaconLive. So he's landed. Now, as far as him shitting his pants, I don't know, because I didn't see the back of him. He didn't die. So, you got
You're
me.
also saying that he might not make the trip. The doctors may keep him on Earth.
Yeah, I said they'll flag him, and they didn't flag him, so they stuck him in there. And I literally, this is going to sound really, really disturbing. I was going through my Facebook feed, doing my constitutional right on the toilet, and I was going through the Facebook feed, and someone says, "Oh my God, William Shatner's getting ready to launch into space." So I'm like looking for a live video. Came across the CBS live stream, watched literally on the toilet, watching him crap his pants as he goes into space, and I'm sitting there, and it was a 3.5 minute up, separate, and then down. And I said, "That's it." And then it took another 15, 20 minutes to get him out of the capsule. And I'm like going, I mean, if you could still see it from Earth, I don't think that's going into space. Even though he broke the barrier, he broke all the, get out of here. He broke the stratosphere, he was in floatlessness or weightlessness or whatever you want to call it.
I think should orbit Earth once. That would be the trip. You know what I mean?
Well, what if you don't, what if you get out to space and you just sit there and let Earth rotate itself, not you go around it, but it rotate itself, and you come back into Earth at a different, because they literally went up. You could see in the background the rocket was like maybe half a mile behind them. So literally the rocket went up, and then it separated, and then the rocket, of course, came down first, and then they floated down to Earth within a half mile of where the rocket actually took off.
So this is, roller coaster rides. Some of them are longer.
And they were talking about the G-forces on some roller coasters is the equivalent, and I beg to differ on some, is the equivalent of going up in some, like this rocket ship. And so he went up, did his thing, came back down. Jeff Bezos came out there, unlocked the key, or unlocked the door, opened up the door, gave the thumbs up, said, "God, it smells like shit in here."
I heard that. I could read lips. That's what he said.
So that's what happened. So I stand corrected. I'm glad he didn't die. I'm glad nothing happened to him. I'm glad that the trip was safe. As far as getting their, NASA or the space organization, I'm real technical on words here. The space organization gives astronauts golden pins. They give them golden pins and saying that they are actual commercial, what do they call them? Astronauts, commercial astronauts. They're still waiting because these were 4 just regular people going up there. There was no one that was actually, they went through the equivalent of being trained to be an airline pilot or something like that. Or not even an airline pilot, like an airline stewardess is basically what they were trained for. Basically, hold on, here's your puke bag, here's your seatbelt.
In the event of emergency, a mask will fall down on your lap.
Correct.
Yes.
So, and then they landed, so I don't know if they're going to get that congressional pin saying that they're an actual astronaut because of what I don't know. I mean, what's the equivalent of going, what they call it, the vomit comet, that the airplane that goes up and then it does the G-forces and then you come down and it goes up. It does like this big S-type movement in the air to train astronauts in weightlessness. Have you seen that? It's like a 747 or 767 or something.
No, there's a bunch of different methods, and I've seen where they have chambers that all the oxygen's out of, where you float around on Earth just to try to practice weightlessness.
That's a vacuum. You can't float in a vacuum. There's still gravity.
If it's if it's a Dyson or one of the good ones, you can.
All right.
I want to tell you a little bit about my development.
Well, we'll come back. Dan's got something. He's played. You heard him talk about getting the cameras and everything all ready for his development and stuff. He's been working on that, and he's so proud. He's busted a crime. And when we come back, we'll dive into Dan's spy private investigation with these cameras and stuff. He caught someone doing something horrible. Stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back.
I hope that I can maintain.
All right, all you guys over there on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, all that stuff, stick around. If you'd like to see the whole video here, go over to Deacon Live, click on Deacon Live, or go over to Prophet Radio, click on the Deacon Live podcast. And for every podcast we do, we have a matching video as well. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow us, and download us on iHeartRadio as well. Thanks. Bye.
And the suddenness of life and
Oh, I still hear his voice.
So beautiful.
beautiful, yes, beautiful in its way, but
No, I mean your words.
oh my words.
It's just amazing.
John Gruden's a mess.
You know what? I've seen articles and stuff about it. I really haven't followed what happened.
Well, first of all, he was a coach of the Raiders. Then he was a commentator for about 10 years. Then he went back and became coach of the Raiders, his current job up until the other day. And
wasn't he coach of the Orlando Predators, or was that Jay Gruden?
No.
Who's his brother's name?
His brother Jay Gruden was on.
He was the coach of the Orlando Predators for a while.
Well, yeah, was that a minor league team?
That's the arena football team.
Yeah, maybe.
And then he got pushed over to Tampa.
He got to the NFL.
Right.
And John Gruden. Well,
you should look it up.
John Gruden played for he was a coach for the Raiders. Then he went to Tampa Bay. And then that's Jay Gruden is his brother. That's his brother. John Gruden is the one we're talking about.
I know, but I think he was the. Go ahead, I'm listening.
And they had NFL had 650,000 emails that they had through all these coaches, and 2 newspapers got into what the emails were saying.
Right here, Orlando Predators.
Yeah. And he was, and there was a whole bunch of things he said that were racist.
Were they racist?
Racist. Things about gays, things about all kind of inappropriate stuff that he said. We're talking about black guys, how big his lips were. His lips was big as Michelin tires and things. So he was.
But is that being racist, or is that being what they call parody, or not parody, but not being in blackface, but when you say all women drivers or all women drivers are bad drivers. Yeah. I mean, is that?
Well, I think it's beyond that when you say that. And I guess there was a shit ton of it and it wasn't like 1 or 2 things, and a whole bunch came out, and he apologized and said he was wrong, but he's going to lose $10 million a year for 6 years,
Mm-hmm.
so that's $60 million he's going to lose. But the thing is, right now, he's not going to be. He loves football; it's his life. He was either a coach or a commentator. He's going to do nothing. He's just going. He's pretty much saying you got to stay home. And
see that, and I have a hard time with that, only because it was done on paper, maybe. And did he offend the person that he was sending the email to? Was that person offended?
No, he was sending to other people, but he was talking about people that mention their names and stuff, and prominent people,
right?
And so I mean,
so then it should have been addressed right then and there.
Yeah, but they didn't find. They just found out about it now. That's why.
No, someone knew about it. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
so if I wrote an email to you in 1996, can I write emails in 96?
Barely.
Barely. And I said, I hate all black women because they're nothing but, baby making machines for tax purposes.
But if you sent it to a person that thought like you and laughed and said that was funny, and he said something back like, the same way. Yeah.
End of discussion.
Yeah. Yeah.
End of discussion.
No, I mean,
But if someone came in back behind you and said, hey, Dan, we were looking through your emails and I seen an email between you and Travis that, he was talking about black women being just nothing but tax-making baby makers.
Yeah.
And you were like going, oh, well, yeah. Now that's racist. Well, I mean, that was 40 years ago, 30 years ago or whatever.
Yeah, but it was like within the last 10 years, but it was
still 10 years.
Yeah, but it was a long period of time and a lot of stuff. And I mean,
it's bullshit.
He didn't turn around and say, no, I didn't say anything wrong. John Gruden said, I apologize. What I did was wrong.
No.
And quit.
He should never apologize. He should have never apologized. He should have said, what I said is the way I felt at that time, and now my thoughts are different. Can we continue and get on with this?
He could have tried that. I mean, I don't know. I'm not. That's the one thing that's this big. There's so many other problems.
Right.
So.
And they're probably, the guys on the team probably going, hey, honky cracker motherfucker, you a funny motherfucker.
But one guy turned around and said, if he's sending it to other people, we're just seeing John Gruden's emails. What about these other emails from these other people?
I mean, how deep do you want to dive into this well?
Well, they think that if they do that, they said they're going to turn around and it won't be pretty if they go into
the whole entire upper management of the NFL would be completely
they're slave owners.
Yeah.
So
sorry, Darky, you don't like what's going on.
No, and it wasn't just blacks; it was gay people.
Oh yeah, I mean all together.
He was shotgunning. He was everything.
Yeah, shotgun blast. All right, you ready? Oh,
yeah.
Right into the mic. Thanks, Dan. Scared the shit out of me. See, like that. All right, here we go. Welcome back to DeaconLive. Over to my far hand side is IT Dan.
Yes, I just want to tell you quickly about
our
neighborhood.
I'm not ready for you yet.
Then stop this and we'll start over.
Why do you got to jump right in, Dan? Can I set up the story? Can I set it up?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I set it up?
Yeah.
All right.
Can. Okay. I didn't know what you were doing.
Well, I mean,
you said to make it quick, so I was making it quick.
Right. All right. Welcome back to DeaconLive. Over to my far right hand side is IT Dan.
Yeah. Good afternoon, listeners.
And for those of you out there who want to follow us on our social networks, and the way you do that is go over to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio, click on the social contact section, and you can find all the links that links us to you and you to us as well. And make sure you follow us on your YouTube channels, your Twitch channels, and all those other channels as well. Now, for those of you who don't know, we broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. And we sit on about 22 some odd acres. We have horses, chickens, cattle. Now we have cats that get out all the time. And on the property, we have a lot of cameras on our property, so we can kind of see everything as they go by. If the horses are running in the pastures, we want to see if there's anything spooking them out. It's a pretty large property, so we've got a long driveway. So we can see people that are coming up. If we're in the back side of the property, we can see someone entering the front side of the property. Now, Dan, for the last, God knows how long you've been milking this job. For like 3-4 months, you've been milking this camera job at your development?
No, the camera job, that was about 3 weeks till we finally got all the settings
So
correct.
You got all the settings correct. All the cameras are looking at each other. And all of a sudden, the head nurse or the head security person said, Dan, there's something mysterious going on. We need your help.
He didn't have to call me. They put up stop signs and a few stop signs.
Now, this is a private development area.
Yep, and we put up a few stop signs, and everybody just blows right through the stop signs. They totally ignore them. They know that there's once they're inside our gates, they do whatever they want to do.
So who broke the law? What, outside of blowing through the stop signs, what happened?
Lots of people, there was almost accidents because they go right through the stop signs. So what they've done is they put up these rubber speed bumps. And everybody's driving around them and at the exit gate, somebody went around the speed bump, drove around and dug up the lawn really bad.
Is it someone's lawn or is it the community area?
Community's lawn.
All right.
They went around the speed bump, and so I had to get on the cameras and find out that it happened at 11:02 on October 9th.
AM or PM?
a.m.
Okay.
Right in the middle of the day.
Right.
And we got pictures of the minivan. Found out it was a Mitsubishi, and the person has been caught, and it was a woman that was running for the board. So
running for the board, not
Yeah,
the boarder. She was running
yeah,
for the board of the neighborhood.
yeah, the neighborhood board of directors.
So they had no problem with everyone blowing through the stop sign and flying over the speed
No,
bumps.
they had a problem. That's why they put the speed bumps.
So now that they're going around the speed bumps, are they going through the stop signs? Still.
No, they're at the stop sign there. So what they've had to do is put a fence up down by the gate.
So stupid.
And they had to,
so stupid.
Yeah, but they had to put boulders on the other end because everyone's going around.
Bear traps.
Yeah, everyone's going around the speed bumps. Yeah, it's that kind of stuff, and it's one of those things where 5% of the 5% of the people ruin it for the other 95% because we all have to stop, go over, and you have to be just crawling to go over these speed bumps.
Now, do you have children in that neighborhood?
Yeah.
Do you have like buses that come through?
Yeah, we have buses that come through in school. We have kids walking the streets, and still, people get the feeling that I'm inside the development. I can drive as fast as I want. None of the rules apply to me because there's no sheriff there or police to stop them.
Yeah. All right, Dan. So you said you were feeling old. You were pushing a tree stump down into your neighbor's yard. That's probably going to cause a flood. It's probably going to flood your property because the water can't drain properly, and Kathy's going to be mad or something. Now you said you kind of strained yourself a little bit.
Oh yeah, well no, I strained some muscles near my heart, and you can feel it. And I've done it before, but you can feel that in your heart, and you always think, "Oh, am I having a heart attack?" And in the back of your mind, a little part's telling you that.
Now, do you take anything preventative? Like, do you take any like daily like vitamins? You take daily fish oil? I take a glycosamine concentrate or something.
Yeah.
I take 4 of those a day for my herniated disc in the back, and it helps me tremendously. That's the pills I gave you. Remember you were walking out here seeing Christmas trees and stuff?
Yeah, and I walked right into the side of your building. Almost hurt myself. No, I take multivitamins, and I take just one that's for digestive health. But yesterday was sore, and I took one Motrin. That's
now,
just for the muscle.
Now, I don't know when this started. Probably in the late 80s, if not early 80s. Doctor said take a low dose aspirin to kind of thin your blood out for people that have like heart conditions or susceptible to having a heart attack. So of course Bayer jumped on it, Excedrin jumped on it. They created these low dose aspirins. Now I've got some here too, and I do take them. It says take 4 a day. I'm not taking 4 a day. It's called low dose for a reason. I'm going to only take 2 a day, 1 in the morning, 1 at night. And it's barely the size of an oat grain or a piece of rice.
Yeah, Kathy takes them only when she gets chest pains, her whole arm hurts and pains. She's probably having a heart attack, and she, small one, and she says that. She goes, I'm probably having a heart attack, and she goes and takes a low dose aspirin.
Doctor shares life-changing techniques. Oh, that's not it. Sorry, wrong one.
Is this your first day here?
It's my second day here.
Okay.
Hold on. I think I closed out the wrong one. Give me 1 second and I'll find it for you. Well, I got all conflicted with the Jay Gruden story or the John Gruden story. Why is it saying? That's why. I don't know why I got that. Hold on. Right now, doctors are saying most adults should not take a daily aspirin to prevent heart attack, the panel says. A low-dose aspirin has been long recommended for healthy heart, but an influential panel says it is no longer beneficial. Take it away, Dan.
Yeah, taking a daily dose aspirin has long been recommended for heart health. But the U.S. Preventive Services Task Force, independent panel of experts, released an updated draft recommendation that say most aspirins should not take aspirin to prevent first heart attacks or strokes. The previous guidance recommended low-dose aspirin for people over 50 that were high risk for heart attacks or strokes in the next decade and who weren't at higher risk for bleeding.
All right, let's see if this video tells us anything.
Hey there.
Hey.
I'm Miley Cyrus.
Hi, Miley Cyrus.
Everything's more fun when it's customized.
Our health news story tonight will likely be of concern to all those of us who take some form of aspirin every day, and those estimates start at somewhere north of 40 million Americans. Tonight, the FDA is warning that a daily dose is not for everyone, and taking aspirin needlessly may actually put them at significant risk. Our report tonight from NBC's Tom Costello.
For years, thanks in part to heavy advertising, many Americans have believed aspirin is just what the doctor ordered to prevent heart disease. But leading doctors have long been concerned about patients without heart disease taking an aspirin a day.
I think a lot of people think that because it is over the counter that it has no side effects. And we've often said that if aspirin were invented today, it would actually be very, much more strictly regulated by the FDA.
Aspirin thins the blood. It also carries the risk of bleeding in both the brain and stomach. The use of aspirin strictly as a preventive measure has always been doctor-driven, but now the FDA is reminding consumers there are risks associated with taking aspirin. A study in the British medical journal Lancet found it was the cause of gastrointestinal bleeding for 1 out of every 1,000
Yeah, but the one that I
treated.
take, it's like the size of a grain of
Bayer Aspirin has
rice.
been seeking approval
But Kathy's
to
aunt
market
had
aspirin
stomach
as a
issues and
medication to
died
prevent
from
heart
taking
attacks.
aspirin every day.
Really? The low dose or the regular one?
I think the regular one she was taking.
Well, there you go. So the FDA now is saying, don't take the low dose anymore. You don't need it. You don't need it for now, I guess is what they're saying. It's kind of like, isn't the FDA the same people that said, don't eat the white part of the egg, eat the yellow part, or the yellow part's bad and the white part's bad, and eggs are bad and this part's bad. And it's just...
It depends on which lobbyist is paying them the most money that week.
Right. Now, something that they're trying to do right now, and this is, I don't know, it's still out there, heart failure is the leading cause of global death. A type of arrhythmia, it's called vascular...
ventricular tachycardia.
All right. Have you heard of that before?
Yeah.
All right. So it's a common cause of death with people with heart failure. Existing procedures to treat heart, whatever you just said,
arrhythmias
in individuals with heart failure can be invasive and a variable in success. Now, what they're saying right now is the pioneer researching are talking about taking radiology and kind of jump starting your heart. Take it away. Let's see. Let me find a place so you can read it so it all makes sense for everyone. Let's see, right here.
However, previous studies show that when healthcare professionals use radiotherapy to treat ventricular tachycardia, patients improve quicker than expected if scar formation was the underlying mechanism. They often benefit within weeks rather than months, which is how long it would take for heart tissue to scar. This implies that scar tissue may not tell the whole story.
So they're talking about doing radioactivity on your heart to kind of keep you going, I guess. If you got any
what problems is the radiation going to, it's like a mosquito lands on you, lands on your lap and you hit it with a hammer. I just, I don't think it's a way to make money. I mean, they get you in there. And
now we're starting to get into cold season, Dan, and cold season, they say the flu, we have no one's getting the flu, but everyone's getting COVID. Now, some people do get the common chest cold and everyone freaks out because they think it's COVID and stuff. Now, this doctor right here shares a life-changing technique for clearing a stuffy nose. Now, have you heard of a neti pot? What?
Yeah, but I've seen what some people are putting in their neti pots too.
What are they putting in the neti pots?
Hydrogen peroxide.
Really?
Yeah.
Ugh. That I would not want that going through my nasal passages or anything.
Well, that's one thing to try to kill COVID. It was one of the crazy things that they come up with. So.
All right. So this gentleman right here. Now I've seen it where you kind of plug your ears and blow your ears out if you have
stand on one foot, hop around. Yeah.
Something like that. A doctor shares a life-changing technique for clearing a stuffy nose in seconds. This doctor right here. Let's see if I can find his name. Dr. Mandel, in this YouTube video, and I'll post this YouTube video up on the Prophet Radio website under the DeaconLive section, and it has a lot for you, but just to watch him do this, I don't know if what he says makes sense. I understand that. But let's see if...
I was reading the disclaimer.
So here we go. This is Dr. Mandel. He's going to tell you exactly how your ear, throat, and nose, he's an ear, throat, and nose doctor, how it's all connected, and how by pulling on one part of your ear and pushing on your face can actually relieve any kind of sinus pressure or help your nose drain. So you ready for this, Dan?
I'm ready.
Here we go.
But when those eustachian tubes become congested, we can experience lots of pain, clicking in our ear, tinnitus, ringing in our ears, as well as vertigo, which is that dizziness. So let me show you how fast and effective this technique is, so we can get your sinuses to drain and open up that stuffy nose. Take your right thumb, put it underneath the cheekbone.
All right, do it, Dan.
You're going to push in.
Dan, do it. All right.
Okay. And out.
All right.
Take your other hand, contact the lower part of the ear.
You doing it?
Straight out. Hold it there 10 seconds.
You feel any difference?
Good. Just keep
No, you got opposite.
holding
You're
it.
doing the opposite ear from each other. Take your left hand, put it on your right cheek. Your left hand, put it on your right cheek. Take your headphones off for a second. You can hear me without them. All right. Take your left and push it into your face, and then out towards your ear. Okay. All right. And then take your other hand and pull on your bottom part of your ear straight out.
Get there.
Pull
You'll
out.
Feel that left sinus.
Hold it for 10 seconds.
Up.
I feel so much better.
Good. Take your left thumb.
And then
put
do
it
the same
underneath
thing on the other
right
side.
Cheekbone. You're going to push in and out, pushing it out. Take your other hand, contacting the lower part of your ear, pulling it straight out. Hold it there 10 seconds.
10 seconds, Dan. How do you feel?
Good. As we open up the right sinus region. Keep holding it.
Are you holding it?
And release.
Okay, release.
Now,
there you go.
you
How do you
should
feel?
I feel weird. I think he's just doing it. He goes, you know, it'd be funny as hell. I'll go put this video up. No, I mean, there's things that work. There's things that work like that.
Well, and then he goes on and on about talking about holding your breath and plugging your nose and looking up and all this stuff. And I'm sure there's some sense to it. I mean, there are videos of people putting milk in their mouth and blowing it out their eye socket holes. I mean, because everything's connected in there. It's all just open spaces and stuff.
Oh, yeah, it is all one big family.
It is one big family. And I said it again. All right, guys, when we come back, we are going to talk about one big family out there that's going to go trick-or-treating and what teal pumpkins mean. If you don't know what teal pumpkins mean, well, it's very important for you and your family. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Proper Radio. I'll be right back.
Oh, that hurts. I'll never do that again.
I just wanted to get you awkwardly doing that.
Yes,
I thought it was
doing
fun.
that. I'm never good when they say put this on. Forget it.
Pat your head and rub your stomach at the same time.
I can do that one, but it's a lot of training and stuff. This is a hard one when you go like this. Have you seen what they're doing for Halloween decorations now?
No, what?
People are putting skeletons in their yard, and they're saying, "Oh, I thought my immune system would take care of me," or they're putting, "Oh, I got my information from Facebook," and they're putting all these things for the anti-vaxxers. So, oh.
Welcome back to Deacon Live. You want something for free? Of course you do. Everyone wants something for free, and you can get yourself something for free as well. Go over to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio. Click on the free swag section. Grab yourself a sticker pack, a magnet pack. Just pick out what you like. Fill out the little form there. I'm not going to do anything with your form. I got enough shit to do here. We sent out another 250, I forget, packs the other day.
257.
57?
257.
257. I know, and they're heavy, and I made Dan go down and lick all the envelopes and stuff from last week's show, all those that filled it out. We appreciate you guys. And over to my far right-hand side is IT Dan. How are you?
Yeah, I like stuff for free, but I also like stuff for $1.
Well, what do you got for $1, Dan?
I stopped at Dollar Tree today.
What did you get?
And I got something for $1 right here.
What is that?
You take a look. Here you go.
All right, hold on. What is this? This is... Describe what I'm looking at here. I see it's Wallabies. Is this the licorice you were talking about?
That's the red licorice, the gourmet licorice. And I bought 2 bags, and it was $2.04 with the tax. So they still sell some things for $1.
And this is at the Dollar Tree or
Dollar Tree?
Dollar Tree. Can I open it and try it?
Sure, yeah, try it.
All right, hold on. I'm going to put it on the table so it doesn't make a whole lot of noise. And I'm going to pour it out on the table because I'm only going to take one, so you can take the rest of the bag home.
Oh, you and Amy can have them if you like them.
Oh, she likes them. Nope, don't like them. I don't like licorice. I don't like licorice, Dan.
Oh, okay.
I think it's just
you said you don't like black licorice.
Well,
that's even worse.
Splitting hairs there.
Okay.
Now I got licorice stuck to my friggin' caps and molars. No, it's not bad. You know what? Not for nothing, Dan. Sometimes you get licorice that just tastes like plastic. This one actually tastes very good. There is a strawberry. Is it strawberry? A strawberry flavor to it. Classic red. That's the flavor. Classic red.
It's from down under.
Now it's got strawberries on it. You know, Pop-Tarts got in trouble for, saying that they have strawberries in their filling, and big lawsuit on that. So hopefully they'll do well as well.
I don't think it's part of your macaroni diet.
Dan, I would like to thank you for introducing me to the green pasta. It is very good. It's the veggie pasta. It's made out of like broccoli and all this stuff. I have not had so much gas in my whole entire life. And I'm like going, what the hell did I eat? I'm like, I made spaghetti the other night and I used the green pasta. Thanks, Dan. Just want to appreciate that.
Did it taste okay?
Yeah, it tasted just fine. I couldn't tell the difference. I mean, it had just a little bit of a different taste to it, but I don't know if it, when I make spaghetti sauce, you always do, sip of beer, sip of wine, a sprig of this and sprig of that, and in your sauce, whatever you're making, and it never tastes the same like 2 times in a row. So you just always like. Yeah.
And I think that's gluten free, which is if you can get something if you have gluten issues, it's a good idea to have that.
All right. Now, someone who does have issues are kids out there getting ready to go trick or treating. Dr. Fauci. I can get into a big old downward spiral on that one, but he says, first of all, I don't know if anyone asked him, but Dr. Fauci says everyone's allowed to go out and go trick-or-treating, go out there and have fun. As to like last year, they said, as long as you're wearing a mask and go to houses and you're passing out candy and you have disinfectant and stuff. This year, he said, basically, have at it, which is kind of polar opposite of what he's telling the rest of the country to do at the same time. So in that case, take it for what you will. Some houses, as you're walking around, you might see different colored pumpkins. Now, there's your traditional orange pumpkin that's out there, the plastic one with the plastic handle on it. Some kids go out there with a pillowcase, and they fill that up.
That was me, a pillowcase. You can put a lot more candy in that.
And then some pumpkins, they started coming out with, someone got up in arms and said, we need to come out with different colored pumpkin carriers or candy carriers to symbolize as if you have an allergy or something like that. So right now, why you might not find Halloween candy at these houses with teal pumpkins. So if you come up to a house, Dan, and you've got the little kids in your neighborhood, and you're walking those around the neighborhood, and you come up to a house that's got teal pumpkins, this is what happens.
Yeah, let's face it. Halloween is by far the best holiday of the year, except for Thanksgiving. Unlike holidays, it doesn't come up with it.
Oh, sorry. You're good.
Oh. Unlike other holidays.
Sorry, I got to do it again. Sorry, I had to put you on a better camera.
Unlike other holidays, it doesn't come with the added financial stress of buying presents or preparing an elaborate and laborious dinner. Christmas and Thanksgiving.
You don't have to do that, Dan.
Yeah, it's the one time of year.
Make it your own.
It's the one time of the year when spider webs and creepy skeletons take over your neighborhood. You can dress up as anyone you want, and there's an excuse to stuff your face with candy. While there are many things kids loved about Halloween, the best part is surely the candy. Yet, while most kids get to trick or treat from house to house without a care in the world, not every child has this luxury. According to the FDA, 1 in 13 children has a potentially life-threatening food allergy, which puts them at high risk in certain situations.
And it's not the FDA, it's the FARE, the FARE company.
Yes.
The Food Allergy Research Education. That's what they're getting at, is 1 is every 13 people.
Okay, I said corrected. That's where the teal pumpkins come in, and while you might see them lining neighborhood stoops more and more, these are special cords. They play an important role for families dealing with food allergies.
So what they're saying is the orange pumpkins that everyone's carrying around, you're like, all right, if the kid's got an orange pumpkin, they can have all that stuff. Now, if you see a teal pumpkin out there, roughly about 8% of trick-or-treaters out there have some kind of food allergies, whether they know it or not, or the parents might know it and the kid might not know it, that type deal. The teal pumpkins outside the house signifies that the people in that house are participating in just giving out not candy, but glow sticks and maybe small toys, in addition to like other candy that might not have like food allergies, like peanuts or anything with eggs in it or something like. I don't know how they define all that, but that's what they're doing.
Peanuts, tree nuts, fish, shellfish, milk, eggs, soy, wheat, and sesame. And those are found in a lot of treats.
If I have a candy that's got milk, eggs, soy, wheat, and sesame in it, or shellfish, I don't think I'm going to eat those.
No, you just eat the little peeps.
I love the peeps. Yeah. Now, Dan, when you watch a football game, do you ever watch like the cheerleaders? I know you watch. Do you watch pro or college?
I watch pro.
All right. And do you watch the cheerleaders, Arl? Do you feel that cheerleaders do anything for you? Not for you like physically, but like, does it help you cheer for the team better?
I don't think they help me. I'm cheering for the team because I want to cheer for it. But I've noticed lately they're not showing camera shots of the cheerleaders maybe in the last 5 years or so. I haven't seen much of that. So.
Well, this gentleman right here has gone viral again. Hold on. Of course, I lose the article again. Now I'm back on fucking World War II bullshit. Hold on.
You were
See Cheer Dad on here somewhere?
Oh, yep. Yeah, just saw it right there. Up to right there. Good thing I came in today.
So, a viral cheer dad knows all the moves to his daughter's cheerleading routine. On today's show, Willie Geist runs through the highs and lows of the week, including this cheer dad who went viral again for enthusiastically supporting his daughter's cheerleading squad. Now, if you want to watch this video, for every video we do, for every podcast we do, we have a matching video as well. And we also post some stuff over there on the shared on section. And that's a little shortcut to get to some of the meaty, chunky bits of the Deacon Live podcast. And the way you do that is go over to profitradio.com and click on Deacon Live. So here you go. Here's the dad. He must have, in my mind, I don't know the whole story, but he must have taken his daughter to cheerleading practice every day. Probably had to sit there and wait for her to get done and then take her back home. So, or he's just really, really enthusiastic. He knows every step of the whole entire her cheerleading routine. So here he is up in the stand. We'll blow this up so everyone can see it. We can all be friends. Let me make sure I have the right screen up here. There we go. And then here we go.
At Fenway this afternoon. Our next high goes to a Virginia dad named Roland Holland, who is getting a second taste of viral stardom for his enthusiastic support of his daughter Mackenzie and her cheerleading squad.
So here he goes. He's doing it, see him? Hands on the knees.
That is Holland at last weekend's homecoming game in Yorktown, Virginia, moving perfectly in sync with the Falcons cheer team. Holland is a retired Air Force major who has learned every move to the team's touchdown routine, right down to that impressive high kick.
There he is again.
Holland earned the nickname Cheer Dad after going viral in 2019. As you can see, he is still at it. Way to go, Dad. Our final look.
He probably doesn't have a son in the game, but his daughter, he's probably so proud of her.
You know what that tells me? That's a good dad.
That is a good dad.
There's a lot of dads that would go there, drop their kid off, and they'd be looking at videos on YouTube or TikTok. He's watching his daughter, and he may have helped her out at home on a routine or something like that.
Yeah.
But that sounds like a good dad.
But, I mean, that's to say, like I was saying, he probably doesn't have a son playing on the field. His daughter's in the team, the cheerleading team, and he's supporting her because that's the team. That's my girl. That's my girl.
Yeah, and he's good. I give him credit.
Now, Dan, I have for many years have said I'm a genius. I'm a genius. I'm the smartest man I know. Yada yada yada, so on and so forth. What? Would you like to elaborate on that? Be careful. I do pay your salary.
I know. I just remember you telling me that you were hung like Einstein, smart as a horse.
So in school, when they had they give out the awards and everything, especially elementary school, junior high and stuff, class clown. You always hear about the class clown. Now, back in the 50s and 60s, the black and white eras, the class clown always sat in the corner with the dunce hat on. Now, studies have shown that the class clown has not really been like the moron of the class. Sometimes it is.
George Carlin was a class clown.
So what they're saying right now, that the way children growing up, like adolescent, the way they convey humor is totally different than the way adults convey humor. And when I say convey humor, for example, and we were just watching the short little biopic on Robin Williams. Robin Williams did comedy in his older years or adult years to hide something in himself. You always hear about comedians dying at an early age. 33 is usually the early age for comedians to die. But children are doing it for a different reason.
Yeah. According to scientists, that class clown from 7th grade may have been the brightest kid in the room. It turns out that humor ability and overall intelligence are lightly linked in the middle-class school-age children, according to research published in Journal of Humor Research. I started the sentence. We were particularly interested in the quality humor made by children but evaluated by adults. parents and teachers should be aware that if their child or students frequently make good quality humor, it's highly likely they have extraordinary intelligence.
So what they're actually saying is, so for myself, it was hard for me. I mean, it really is hard for me to make friends, even as an adult. But in my childhood eras, I know that I never really had like a group of friends I used to hang out with. Now, I would crack jokes and do all this other stuff, and I would make everyone laugh. And I'm like, okay, that's my group. Everyone hangs around me. And my jokes were always like, I don't want to say the smartest jokes. Dan, I remember one time, we lost power. It was now I was born and raised in Florida, and in Florida we have hurricanes all the time. And I was in probably 4th or 5th grade, and we lost power at our elementary school. And the emergency lights came on. Everyone's sitting there, and we're all like in the dark, but you can still see everyone. And the teacher's like, "All right, how long is this going to be? How long is this going to be?" My teacher, Mrs. Williams, said, "Travis, can you come up to the front of the class and tell jokes?" And I said, "Sure, I'll tell some jokes." Got up to the front of the class, and because she knew that all the kids liked me, making them laugh and making them feel comfortable, and it made me feel comfortable too as well.
Did the kids feel scared?
I don't know if they felt scared, but I mean, after the power's been out for like an hour, everyone
get restless.
You get restless, and you need something. You can't, turn on a no one's got cell phones at that time. Back in 19.
Yeah.
And so I went up to the front of the classroom, and probably 30 minutes did my first like stand up. I mean, just raw dog. I just made up stuff I read out of books and all this stuff. Some were funny. Some were really, really highbrow. Like I said, one of the jokes I said to the kids, I remember my mom telling me, how far can you walk into the woods? And the kids would go, I don't know.
Only halfway.
Halfway, then you're walking out. And then everyone's like going, I don't get it. I'm like going, but that's funny. You can only... And these are the type of jokes.
Yeah, that made you think. You had to...
And it totally bombed, but thank God the lights came on. Mrs. Williams goes, "Okay, Travis, you can go sit down by your desk."
What time of day was that?
It was probably, it had to be after lunch. So
2 in the afternoon?
No. Elementary school at that time probably got out like probably 2 in the afternoon already. So this is probably, we ate lunch at 11:30. We're at school at 6,
Okay, so it couldn't have been that dark in the classroom.
Well, yes, because the buildings in elementary school were built for hurricanes. If we had to evacuate or anything like that, like if the neighborhood had to evacuate, that was an evacuation building. It was a solid brick building with these, 8-inch by 6-inch windows on the real small windows that couldn't blow out.
Hurricane.
Yeah, hurricane type. So it was a hurricane type establishment to where, if something happened. All the schools, like the high schools and stuff, well, the newer high schools were all built that way with big solid brick.
Okay, because the schools I went to had, 40-inch wide windows, big monster windows.
So sniper could take you out from like a mile away?
Yeah, I mean, our class, we could take the school desk and chair together, and they'd fit out the window easily. We've done it many times.
So anyways, while humor is frequently used for entertaining adults, children mostly use this as pure exception, what they call pack bonding. And so if your kid's funny at a young age, embrace it. He's probably the smartest kid in the class. There can only be one. There can only be one. I think that's a Highlander movie or something like that. All right, when we come back, we'll be up to speed with technology, the latest news on technology and information in the tech world. Stick around. You're listening to DeaconLive right here on Profit Radio. I'll be right back. You want me to give these to Amy?
Just give me one, though.
Sure. Don't chew on the air, please.
No, we'll chew during the break.
Yeah, I do not like licorice. I mean, I say do not like it. It's like if you put chocolate bars and then licorice. I'm not going with licorice. Yeah, I had to move some because it's coming out of my account, my business accounts.
Yeah, so Kathy went up to me the other day and said, I want to buy this chair. It's $160. I said, bring money with you. You got lots of money. She goes, no, buy this chair, put it on a credit card, and I'll give you the $160. And today I said, I'm going to go to the bank. I got to put that money in. She gives me $140.
Why don't you give you $140?
Because she wants to be cheap about it, And so...
I was going to give you like $300 and call it even, no?
Yeah.
$1 for lunch.
And she goes, where is the... She goes, well, I said, I got to get it because I haven't got the check from Woodrun yet. I haven't got the check from Travis yet. Well, when are you going to get it? I said it usually takes about a week for it to come in. I said you don't do it. It doesn't come instantaneously when you do, bill pay and stuff. You have to mail it. So I said they'll be coming, but I told you to take the money if you give it back to me, and then she's giving me crap about it. So.
What about not getting paid?
Well, when's the check coming and stuff? So, and I just said it comes when I said he's doing it. I'm not worried. I said I'm not worried about it. Just it's not here yet. That's why. And I don't. It's not that I'm gonna go without it, but that was my excuse to get her to give me the money back.
Did you know I work for the farm?
Yeah.
No, did you know that for real?
No, I know that you out there doing all those kinds of things. I didn't know you were an employee.
Yeah.
Now, I'm actually less tired drinking 2 coffees a day than I am.
Oh, good.
3.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Make sure you talk into the microphone, please, and not in your ear. Ready? Welcome back to Deacon Live. It is now time for Up to Speed with Technology with IT Dan.
Good afternoon. It's kind of hard to do this when I'm in presence of a genius sitting on the other side.
Well, what can I say?
I'm humbled. So there's a couple of things I want to tell about phone battery myths that have been debunked. Charging overnight, when to charge, more. And
now, I charge my phone overnight. Is that good or bad?
Is it really okay? Yeah. Leaving your battery plugged in all night isn't dangerous. In early days, when they first had the lithium batteries, they'd overheat if you charged them too long.
Now, is that iPhone or Android or both?
Either one.
Okay.
But the new batteries, it's fine to do that. First of all, the modern batteries have a memory that's smarter in them, and the smartphones are all going to reduce the amount of time. As it fills up, they lower the current of the charge. So it's fine to do that. Another myth was, should you drain your phone's battery first before charging it?
My poon?
Yeah.
My poon? Train my poon?
No, you should train your phone's battery first before charging it.
Sorry.
So one of the most common phone battery myths is you let your battery reach all the way to 0 before you plug in your phone. No. A full discharge, letting your battery charge all the way to 0, it's not good for the modern phones. Don't even get close to 0, because that's going to wear out your battery faster than other ways.
Now, hold on. My dad, it's almost the same principle. My dad, and this you might fall in the same category. My dad would never let the truck, he drove a Ford Ranger, he'd never let the truck go below a quarter of a tank of gas. And he would fill it up when it got to a quarter of a tank. He wouldn't wait for it to go all the way down because he thought it would suck up sediments and stuff.
Well, the problem with that, you get down low at the bottom of the tank, you get moisture in your tank.
Okay.
If you get a little bit of moisture in your tank and you're down, eighth of a tank, it can have problems running. If you keep it full, if there is some moisture in it, it's going to be diluted.
But
a lot more in a
what
full
I'm saying
tank.
is my dad's theory is if he had a cell phone, he wouldn't let it go below a quarter of a tank charge. He would charge it automatically. So you're saying you can charge the phone at any time, any length.
Anytime, any length. And
Okay.
I usually, if I'm out somewhere, when I get home, I just charge, even if it's 60%, I charge it up to the top.
Well, good.
So I don't have problems.
All right. What else you got?
Okay. And then can you use your cell phone with charging? Yeah, you can. But there's one thing you've got to be careful of. When cell phones do explode, it's usually not because of the phone. It's because of it's because they have either a defective charger or they have one that's not authorized charger. So if you have you may find this, you go into the convenience store and you buy one of these chargers there, and the phone can blow up with those. So,
Hold on, Dan. Now, hold on a minute. So you're saying if I've got a Samsung phone, I don't know what level I've got, but I had the Samsung charger, but I go to, let's say, like a 7-Eleven or something like that, and I forgot my charger, and I buy the little one that sticks into my lighter or something like that,
not into the lighter, but they said that when they do find the phones that explode, it's usually because they have a charger that is an off-brand,
just altogether off-brand.
Yeah, altogether off-brand, and a real cheap one that's defective, something you get from China.
So back to the first topic that you talked about. It's okay to charge your phone if
it's probably not a good idea if you have your regular manufacturer's
right, exactly.
charger.
That's where I'm going with it.
You can talk on the phone while you're charging, but if you have something that you found on the sidewalk and you plug it into the wall and those are when the phones do blow up.
I've seen pictures that people have posted. They keep the phone like near their pillow or something like that, and they had a generic charger, and right where the charger cord meets the phone, like the bed got a little burnt, little char right there because it got too hot.
Yeah, and it's different. And I've seen one of my favorite ones when you get two cell phones beside each other, and then you have an egg in the middle, and the two cell phones go there, and the egg blows up. But that's like trick photography. Thing
Okay.
to do that.
What else you got there?
Just about, how to keep your laptop from heating up, Overheating laptops not good. It can cause motherboard, hard drive, CPU failures. Just make sure your laptop vents are clean. You keep all the dust out of them. But one thing you don't want to do is blow compressed air into the vents, because that's going to blow down the tube, and it's going to go into the fan, and it's going to make things worse.
So it's just going to literally the shit would hit the fan, if you're blowing the dust in there.
Yeah, and the dust will seize up the fan when you do it. And the problem is the poor design by most of these manufacturers to access the fan and the cooling fins. The laptop has to be assembled. You have to take the keyboard out, pretty much unassemble the whole, which for homeowners is really hard to do.
They won't do it.
It takes me a half an hour to do that, to clean them.
For your customers?
Yeah, you have to pull them apart. You take the keyboard off, take the top of it off, the whole bunch of screws on the bottom, pull out the drives, pull out the DVD drive.
Now, do you agree with that whole what's that law that they're trying to pass where you can't fix it at home type thing?
Well, no, I think they're just doing something with the new iPads and iPhones that they're making it so that you can't get the parts or different. They're trying to make you go to a certified dealer and putting these little guys out of business.
Now, I've seen laptops, and I've seen it on, as seen on TV, where you have the laptops and you have this almost little pie wedge that's about the same size as the base, and it's probably maybe a half inch on one side or a half inch towards the top and a quarter inch down at the bottom, and it's got another exterior fan, if you're going to set it on your lap.
Yeah.
And sometimes your laptop gets hot. Are those any good?
Those are great. They cost they have ones that are flat, just pretty much the same same footprint as a laptop. They're maybe 3/4 of an inch high, and they have 3 fans on them. They're $30 from Amazon, and you can put them on, and they plug into the USB.
And those are okay.
Those are good, and those work great.
Not going to blow up on me.
Yeah. And as far as cleaning the fans, I think they should be building them so you have a trap door so somebody can get a can of compressed air, blow out the fan, blow out the fans, and put the cover back on. They just don't design them that way, except for the Apple. Apple has the screws, and it takes the entire cover off.
Really?
One-piece cover. You take the screws out, and everything is right there for you. It's much, much better design than the regular PC laptop.
Well, good.
And
what else you got?
One other thing is you get some sneaky scam text messages, and Verizon customers have been getting them. It's a phishing thing. I've got them myself. I'm an AT&T customer, and they they'll tell you won an award for paying your bill early, and you're receiving a gift. And you get a suspicious link to an unknown website. And if you follow the scam, click the link. You might be asked to share your personal information, phone number, social security number.
I honestly don't believe that people still fall for this.
People still do. They still do. I get phone calls, and I did this, and I messed up. And
there's naked pictures of my wife on the internet now.
And they send you a link, and the link will have all these botched up numbers, H3SC-N.XYZ. That is not a legitimate website. If the website said AT&T.com/gift or something, that's even that you might fall for. But if you get some crazy numbers like that,
they work. I've seen them where they worked in the it's www.totalscamatnt.com /give me your money, and everyone just sees AT&T.com right in the middle of it, and they'll go for it.
Yeah, and it's a sad reality of modern communication, but double check and triple check any call, text, or email. And what I do is I get these spams and I forward it to AT&T.
Oh, they must love you over there.
Well, I forward it to AT&T. Well, they are things where you can get rewards.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I forward it to...
Have you gotten a reward from them?
No, I did get my check that I sent in for my chicken, though. They sent me my check.
Did you? How much did you get? You haven't gotten that yet. They haven't settled the law case or a lawsuit yet.
No, but I've been calling the lawyer every friggin' day.
I'm sure he loves you too. What else you got going on? Anything?
No, that's about it right now.
You were doing your PC work. You got like 15 motherboards laying around. Are you going to start mining Bitcoin with all the extra parts and stuff you got going on?
I saw that video going there with that. So no, I'm not going to get that crazy into it.
Yep, that's it.
That's it.
All right, guys. If you have any questions for Dan, make sure you forward them over to us. And the way you do that is go over to profitradio.com, click on Contact Us, and you can fill out that little form there with your question and everything. Dan, what else you got?
I was just going to say, last week I got 2 good questions from our listeners.
Okay,
good, legitimate questions, and I was able to answer them and help the people out.
Well, good. And if you want to be part of the show, if you got a question for Dan, go over to profitradio.com, click on Be Heard. It opens up a microphone. You can do a voice message, comes right into our mailbox, right into our inbox here, and we'll play it on the very next podcast, and Dan will answer it right on the air. How about that? All right, guys, stick around. We got a lot more show to get into. And are you so tired right now of the Mercury Retrograde? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's the reason why there's a lot of bad shit going on. Stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Loudest drinker.
I'm in the presence of genius. Who said that? Oh, Eric Clapton said that.
Loudest drinker in the world. Where's our time? Because I did that a little early. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Don't forget, all the musical artists that you hear on Deacon Live are all independent artists, and they support us here, and we want you guys to support them as well. And the way you do that is go over to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio. Click on their little logo, their little icon. You can see their Instagram page. You can see their band page. You can see all the stuff that they do. Make sure you support them as well, and make sure you listen to them. Download their albums as well. Dan, what's your favorite artist that you got going on right now that's playing?
Right now, Tanner Weatherby. I haven't listened to that.
You like them a lot?
Yeah, my wife likes them too.
Did you download their songs?
Yeah, we did.
Good. Now, over to my far right-hand side, you just heard that is IT Dan.
Yes, I just talked to you.
I know, but I just want to make sure that we clarify that who you are and what you are, just in case someone's tuning in halfway through the program, because that's what happens sometimes. You know, sometimes someone's downloading the podcast and playing it on their smart speaker or something like that, and they're going, hey, who's those guys that you're listening to? Well, come on in and sit down. This is Deacon Live. I love this show. They're heard in over 55 countries, and right now over 39 states in the U.S. I don't know why it's only 39, up by the Canadian border.
We have to try a little bit harder. It's by the Canadian border we're having the problem?
Yeah, there are a couple states by the Canadian border that they don't get us for whatever reason. I don't know.
Maybe we got to say A after every word, like the Canadians do.
A, we'll try it, all right? A. Maybe that's a New York thing. Maybe they'll pass on down to something else. Now, Dan, we were talking about smartphones or smart speakers, smartphones as well. I have an Alexis. Is it Alexis? Alexis. Alexa, sorry. I don't have an Alexis. That's a different brand of car. And we also have a Dot, and we have a Show.
The show and the Dot and Alexa are all the same.
Okay, but it's
Alexa is the just name of the person you talk to.
And we also have Google Assist on like our sound bars and stuff. For we have an LG sound bar, like a 7.2 or something like that.
That's apples and oranges. The Google's totally different.
Okay, but I found out something on my Alexa app, like when I download it on my phone. My wife uses Alexa all the time. Alexa, add toilet paper to my grocery shopping list. And watch everyone that's listening to us right now, the add toilet paper has been added to your shopping list.
Yeah, and they wonder what's going on. I'm not listening to those guys again.
But something that I didn't know, and I was messing around with my phone one night. I was laying in bed. My wife was out in the kitchen, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, are you in bed? Are you coming to bed yet? She said, I'll be in a minute. And I found something where you can like text Alexa to say something.
Yeah, you can text an announcement. You can also do a thing that's drop in. It's kind of like a two-way radio. And you go, Alexa, drop in on bedroom. And next thing you know, you can talk back and forth in that room.
Well, this woman right here has used both of those features to look at or drop in on her ex-boyfriend. A woman uses Amazon Alexa to scream out the words, "Get the whore out," at her ex's
new partner.
New partner at the court hears. A woman uses her ex's Amazon Alexa speaker to threaten him and his new partner, which I don't know why. I guess partner say girlfriend, I guess. I don't know what's going on. She had access to the system to keep an eye on the dog that they co-own. Philippia Copelson Warren also shared naked photos of her ex, leading to a suspended prison sentence. For more on this details, let's go to IT Dan.
Yeah, a woman was spared a 3-month prison sentence after using a new Alexa smart speaker to verbally threaten her ex's new partner and sharing naked pictures of her former partner. Philippia Copelstone Parker from London.
No, not Parker. Warren.
Warren from London used the device to blare "Get the whore out" at her former partner's home in Lincolnshire. And she also threatened the couple by using a connected app to switch their bedside light off and on. So,
you imagine that? You're laying in bed and she's fucking around with the lights on the side of the bed at 3 o'clock in the morning. They come on, they go off. They come on, they go off. I would unplug that thing right away.
Yeah, and and I think that stuff is okay. Sharing the naked pictures is not. That's not cool.
Yeah, there's lawsuits that have been coming out. So I guess the
rest of it is funny. I think that's funny.
So she was charged with a single count of disclosing private sexual photographs with the intent to cause distress on or before October 6, 2017 or 2019. So the animal that they use is a support animal to help her boyfriend, her ex-boyfriend, and her diabetes. The dog would lap up water. You know, when the dog can sense that your sugar's low, so the dog would lap up water, telling her that her sugar's low. That was the why they had the dog together.
And that's you get the same thing. Your dogs pee on the floor when your blood pressure's high.
So, well, at least we had the pads on the floor. But yeah, she said she not hacked into it, but used the Amazon Alexa to say, "Get the whore out, get the whore out." And that would be kind of spooky, though. I mean, that's a horror movie in the making right now.
Yeah, and our Alexa does some strange things. So we'll be talking about stuff, and Alexa will answer, and we never mentioned her name. So.
Now, there's a game out right now. Dan was making fun of me because I play the new. I think it's called the 2K21 PGA Tour golfing game, and I love the golfing game. I've always said if I've got the physical mentality, if that makes any sense, the smarts to understand the slopes, the winds, the drives, the lays, and all that stuff. I told you I'm part genius, but I don't have the physical. I don't think I could sit there, eyes down, and try to hit the ball with all those measurements and stuff going in my head at the same time.
In the real world.
Correct. Yeah. In the real world, actually hitting the ball. I mean, I'm sure if I took enough time, I played baseball, I played basketball for many years, semi-pro for a while. I'm sure I could figure out how to play golf.
But you do okay in the golf game?
On the Nintendo or the PlayStation golf game, I do very well.
You're a pussy just for playing golf.
Thanks.
And I want to add that I just downloaded it. Haven't played it yet.
It's the game of kings, by the way, is what they say. Now, there's a new video game out from a Beijing-based developer. It's called Exhausted Man. This is the latest project from Candleman Games. It's probably the most realistic games right now. You play this naturally. You are energy sapped antagonist. You just don't want to do anything. And this is a video game. And he's like going, well, how do you play the Exhausted Man game? What do you do?
I'm waiting.
So what you do, right there, Dan.
Yeah, Exhausted Man plays out in distinct stages. First, you decide where to place furniture and other items in the dude's room with the mouse. Then you decide on the to-do list before he goes to bed. These objectives range from yoga positions, like situating your left hand above your right foot and holding a few seconds to arrange furnishings, But there's an element of strategy in the play. If the game asks you to move the beanbag away from the bed, for example, do you have enough room to navigate your slippery, unmanageable body without too much trouble? So it's strategy, too.
It is a very strategized game, and you almost look like you've got no bones. And I'm going to play this video, and for every podcast we do, I have a matching video as well. And most of the meat and the potatoes of the podcast will be displayed shared on as well. So here we go. This is the teaser. Let's blow it up real big. So Dan, describe what's going on.
It's panning across a bedroom. You can see a bed, and there's a guy just laying on the bed with his arms hanging out the side. He just looks totally exhausted and out of energy. there's a lamp and there's a coffee cup just lit up, so it looks like you're asking him. Oh, he just slithers off the bed. He's got no, oh, this guy is lazy, and exhausted, and he's reaching and trying to grab the coffee cup, but he's just too tired. Oh, he just dropped the coffee cup off the table. And it's just like if you had someone that was sleepwalking and totally asleep, and he's all flexing around.
He's got no bones at all, but see, he picked it up. He got it.
Yeah.
And that was his task for that. So there you go.
It's sad, though, that I know people that are like that. They barely do anything all day.
But I mean, it's one of those games. It's kind of mindless. There's a game that I play. It's kind of like the Sims or the Sim Cities and stuff. It's called, I think it's called City Skylines. And you sit there and build a little town. You build a little town, and then you literally just play God, and you just sit there and watch it grow. Watch the people move in. Watch the people move in, and then all of a sudden they need garbage, and you're like going, "Ooh, I need to put a garbage plant somewhere." And if you put the garbage plant too close to the houses, there's this toxicity around the garbage plant. If it's close to a house, the people start getting sick and so on and so forth.
Can you take a magnifying glass and burn people while playing that game?
If you buy the upgraded one, yes, you can.
There's actually a little game called Ant City, and people walk around, and you can take the magnifying glass and hold it over people, and they will catch on fire, and you can get cars to blow up and stuff. It's called Ant City.
Now, Dan, when you got married, how was your? Did you have a big wedding?
Oh no, we have very small wedding, probably 50 people.
All right,
small wedding.
50. That's still modest. That's still a modest amount. Did you have you had your ceremony, and then did you have a reception?
Yeah, all at the Elks, right next to my father-in-law's house.
So how long from the time it said, the people walk down the aisle to you saying "I do" to the end of the wedding reception, and everyone threw? I guess at the time they probably threw rice at you. Back in the day, they probably threw rice at you.
Yeah, they threw rice.
How long do you think that was?
The whole thing was probably 5 hours. Maybe it wasn't that.
Did you have a photographer?
We didn't have a photographer. People took pictures.
Was cameras available back then when you got married?
They had cameras, but it wasn't digital. You had to
the guy with the guy with the big smokestack. He lit it on fire and ducked underneath the drape and goes clear. Boom.
No, I'm 67, 97. Yeah, but no, I'm 67. But it was you take pictures with a regular 35 millimeter camera, and then you have to get the film developed.
Now, with COVID and everything coming around, a lot of weddings have been pushed off, and a lot of people have been. I'm sure that industry altogether has completely collapsed on itself.
Yeah, our friends had a Zoom wedding during the pandemic, and then a year later they had their real wedding.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it came out excellent.
So Wednesday, October 6th. This photographer's tale dealing with this shisty groom went viral on Twitter. Now, let me explain exactly what happened. So this woman, of course, times are tough. She's not doing a whole lot of pictures for weddings and stuff. A friend of hers said, "Hey, do you mind taking pictures for us? It's a friend of a friend, and you do a discounted rate and stuff." Excuse me. Yeah. So times are tough, and you're like going, you know what? I like you guys. I like who you are. I like where your wedding and everything's going to be. I'll do the whole wedding for $250. So let's see. Where do we start from here? Here we go.
Yeah, the people were on a shoestring budget, and the woman agreed to shoot it for $250. That's well below the going rate. I know it is, and it's nothing for a 10-hour event.
10 hours, Dan.
10
hours.
Yeah.
Now, let me explain to you our wedding. We had a professional photographer, and she was running around, and she had, every time she had to put a new data thing in, she had lights and she had all that stuff. Then we had a freelance photographer that got all the cameo pictures, the people, shoving food in their mouth.
Those are the ones I like, the cameo
and
ones.
the cameo ones, I think we paid, maybe my wife's going to correct me, I think we paid $250 per day, because we did a dress rehearsal and the dress dinner and then the main wedding, $250 a day. And then the main wedding photographer, that did all the, with the dresses laid out and then everyone's standing in profile pictures. I think we paid maybe $1,500 for her, but that was only a 4-hour. I think our whole entire wedding was 6 hours. So $1,500 for our wedding. So
Yeah, and this person had to follow the bride around to a series of appointments to capture photos before capturing pictures of the entire ceremony and the speeches. And, you know, you can work up an appetite like that doing all that work.
So she started around 11 a.m. and finished around 7:30 p.m. Around 5 o'clock, she said, you know, the food was being served, and she said, I could not stop to eat because I need to be the photographer. And in fact, they didn't even save me a spot at any of the tables, the photographer says. I'm tired, and I'm getting to the point where I'm regretting doing this for literally next to nothing. Normally, a 10-hour shift doing a wedding grosses anywhere from, you know, $2,000 to $2,500. Now, this dog groomer informed the groom, she's, you know, part-time dog groomer, that she needed a 20-minute break. The groom says, guess what? Hold on. Where did I leave off, Dan? I lost myself.
Well, she just asked for a 20-minute break just to get something to eat and drink after 8 hours, 9 hours. And the groom had the audacity to say he'd need to keep snapping photos or risk leaving without pay. The dog groom revealed that he gave the groom a chance to take back what he initially said, but he doubled down on being trash. And the groomer said, no, with the heat, being hungry, annoyed at the circumstances, I asked if he was sure. He said yes. So I deleted all the photos that I took in front of him, adding when they left after informing the groom, they were not his photographer anymore.
So he refused to pay or refused to let her take a break or do anything like that. And the part-time
told her he wasn't going to pay her.
Yeah, the part-time dog groomer / photographer said, you know, are you sure? I mean, you know, I've been out here all day long. And the groom said, yes, you're going to do this. You know, we're paying you to do this. And she's like going, you know what? $250. These pictures are now all mine, and started deleting them off her camera right in front of the groom and said, these are not your pictures anymore. I am done.
Yeah, I videotaped probably 15 or 20 videos, and people always gave me, you sat down, you ate your meal with them when everybody else ate.
Now, when my wife and I got married, you know, we planned on, I think it was 150 people to be sitting at the wedding. So we had catering for 150 people. Now, unfortunately, right before our wedding, we had a big rainstorm that came through, almost a tornado in Sorrento, Florida. So like 30 of them didn't show up because they were worried about the storm. So we had all this leftover food. Now, we had a DJ. We also had a wedding planner. We also had the caterers and the house people, you know, serving everyone. We said, you know what? Once everyone is sat down and is fed, please feel free, help yourself to everything else. And they did. I mean, you know, they went in there and they said, thank you very much. We didn't have to do that because normally that's not, it's not frowned upon that you don't feed them, but it's encouraged that, hey, look, you know, you should feed them.
Yeah, and I was always fed at the wedding. In fact, we went to one wedding where they did not have enough food for everybody, and I was there and two other people that were working, like as the photographer. There was a table of 10. They brought out 10 plates, and there was not enough food for we took some off another plate, and then people coming from other tables, sure, you take that. So.
Oh, God. All right, when we come back, we're going to take a short little break, and when we come back, I'm going to get into why your world is not doing very well. Like you say, why is my AC going out? Why is my car breaking down? And you think the world's against you? Well, technically it is. And we'll dive into that here in just one sec. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. So you're online now. So you're playing online?
Yeah, I got the plus thing, so maybe we'll have to have a golf game sometimes.
Yeah, that'd be fun, because I can do that.
I'm going to have to lose, you know, suck up to the boss thing, you know?
Right.
Yeah. What do you know about the St. Louis Arch? You've seen it, right?
Yeah.
How big is it?
It doesn't have a red light on top of it, so that means it's underneath the airspace thing, so it's got to be 115 feet tall?
Yeah.
Is that right?
It's
How tall?
actually 630 feet tall. And guess how wide it is?
Then there's because there's a cross that's in St. Augustine that was given us to by the Spaniards, big iron cross sculpture,
and it was too tall.
And I think airspace, it has, if it's over 118 feet tall, it has to have a blinking red light on it. for the airplane so they don't hit it. So they made it 1 foot smaller, shorter, so that it didn't have they didn't want a blinking red light on the top of this huge friggin' thing that the Spanish gave us for sending them back to Japan or something. I don't know. I get confused. There's a lot of countries out there. What was your question? What was your question about
the niche?
What was your question about the St. Louis thing, though?
Oh, what if you knew how tall it was?
No, I didn't.
630 feet.
Lesson learned. Why did you ask me how tall it was?
Just a trivia thing. So I saw it somewhere.
You just pulling things up out of the air and asking me if I know them? All right, I'm just asking.
You're a genius.
I am a genius, and I almost got that one right.
Yes.
You're listening to DeaconLive right here on Prophet Radio over to my far right-hand side. Testing my knowledge of things in this area is IT Dan. I was close.
Yes, you're close.
What was the question you asked me?
I asked you, where is the St. Louis Arch, and you didn't have a clue.
Well, you asked me how tall it was, and what did I say? I said 635 feet, and how tall was it?
630 feet. And how wide is it?
I forget.
630 feet.
I was close. I was close on both angles. All right. And if you want to be close on both angles and you want something for free, go over to ProfitRadio.com, click on the free swag section, and we'll send some stuff out to you. We just sent out about 200, what did you say, 257 things that we sent out the other day, and that was just for last week, and we still got another, I think 1,000 something we got to send out. We can only do so much at a time because Dan can't lift the whole box.
Yeah, and the guy at the post office is not crazy about me.
Well,
Here he comes again.
He's missing an arm anyways. All right, Dan. So, have you ever felt like the world is against you?
Some days.
And what do you say? Why world? Why God? Why this? Why that? I mean, why do you think, the world is against you? Do you think it's like karma? Is it just the way you are, the bad choices you made in life, or good choices you made in life, or just choices in general?
It's karma for everything I
Is it really? Well, right now, Uber and Taco Bell are giving away a free nacho-shaped crystal to help you with the Mercury Retrograde. Now, do you know what a Mercury Retrograde is?
I would think it was redoing over an old Mercury car from the 60s.
My dad had a Mercury Comet. Read this right here. Oops. There you go.
Oh, can amethyst chip provide clarity that we need during these chaotic times? Yeah. Mercury has been in retrograde since September 27th, which means you've got an entire planet to blame for any minor misunderstandings, canceled flight connections, or broken iPhone screens.
So I think Southwest and Spirit Airlines are blaming the Mercury Retrograde for all the canceled flights. I don't think so.
Yeah. Even the protagonists of the Old Farmer's Almanac say be flexible, patient, understanding during Mercury's final retrograde of the year, because the potential for communication problems and all-around chaos during this time.
Now, if you want to protect yourself, Taco Bell right now is trying to give you this triangle thing that's...
it looks like a quesadilla.
Yeah, it does. And if you go out there right now, you can get this, and maybe it'll help you. From Thursday, October 7th through Thursday, I'm sorry. Sorry, we're a day late and $1 short on this one. You can get your free order of the Mercury Retrograde nachos with a $12 minimum. You can get this little emblem. Now, but if you see it out there around your friend's neck, it's a purple triangle with a little gold on top of it. It's a emerald stone or something like that. And this is Spencer Pratt approved. Yes, the guy from... What is it, The Hills or something like that?
Yeah, but even with this, it's a $12 minimum order through Uber Eats, which means you get $2 of food and $10 delivery. So
exactly. Again, the world is against you. Now, Dan, are you familiar with Pepsi?
Yes, but I'm a Coca-Cola person.
Are you really? Yeah. Do you drink Coca-Cola straight or just Coke?
No, Coca. I mean, if I drink it, I like Coca-Cola out of a bottle. But I will drink it out of a can if I have to. But the difference between Coke and Pepsi, I just don't like Pepsi's taste.
Did you do the Pepsi challenge when it was around?
Oh, I can do it blindfolded. I can tell you which.
Well, it's blindfold no matter what. Yeah. They don't tell you. That's what the challenge is. Now, Pepsi right now, October is baseball season, and Pepsi is now releasing this limited edition Cracker Jack flavored cola this month. Now, Dan, you said something to me the other day where you were like, all these people are not going to work. They're sitting at home, all these CEOs and CIOs and all these research and development people, and you say they're just basically just cramming stuff together, throwing it at the wall and see if it sticks.
They're bored. They're sitting around. Well, if everybody goes to work. Instead of having a 2-hour commute, an hour to work, hour back, you're home. So there's 2 hours of the day you're sitting around and you're looking at stuff in the fridge. You go, what if I do this? What if I add this? I mean, look at the Oreo recipes and the Oreos and the condensed milk and the Cool Whip and all this different things.
Yeah,
people
I made
come up
that.
with.
Yeah, it was good. Take it away.
Yeah, so simply called Pepsi X times Cracker Jacks, the new beverage combines the refreshing taste of Pepsi Cola with the nostalgic blend of caramel, popcorn, and peanut flavors found in a Cracker Jack.
Now, what if I had a peanut allergy and it's got the peanut flavor? Do they use actual peanut or is it an extract or what are they doing?
I'm sure there's something in it will kill you.
Right.
But it's only available through the Pepsi times Cracker Jack sweepstakes on Twitter and TikTok. So you can win one of 2,000 cans. So you can't go buy this in the store.
All right, so it's a winnable thing.
Yeah, but, for a chance to win one of those, they can take a video of themselves singing or a portion of Take Me Out to the Ball Game, but replacing the word peanuts with Pepsi in the lyrics.
Take me out to the ball game.
Yeah. Do you know who's going to win on this?
Who?
Someone
who's got a lot of time on their hand.
No, that guy, the black guy that we see on the show, the skinny guy that just smiles. Obvious Man.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? He deserves to win.
As soon as that article came out, I have not seen any of his TikTok videos or anything like that. I think he's gone, after they found out how much money he was making and how much it cost for him to do stuff, his videos have vanished, completely vanished. So I think he's taking the money and literally running. Now, another TikTok thing out there is a lot of people like to do this, what they call TikToking sleuth. Now, what's the girl that passed away or was now they figured out that was strangled?
Oh, Gabby.
Yep. And they're saying that the boyfriend or whatever, Laundry, is in the mother's backyard underneath a flower bed. Have you seen that? There's a drone video, and the parents keep going out to this little 8x8 square planter box, and there's a hand that comes out underneath the planter box, and the mom gives the hand something, and it goes.
I haven't seen that. But I mean, there are internet sleuths that go around. They've been tracking down people from January 6th, the insurrectionists, and they'll get a group of them together, and they've worked together, and they've probably captured more people than the FBI has.
So the latest sleuthing on TikTok is something called Couch Guy. This is the latest viral video that TikTok has shown how the internet sleuthing can be so toxic. One expert says that social media users gravitate towards mysteries about the human condition, which leads to them to overstep and dig into people's personal lives. So if you want to see...
country are preparing for President Joe Biden's vaccine or tech.
Don't care. So what it's supposed to be is an innocent video of a young woman surprising her long-distance boyfriend has become a TikTok's newest obsession for all the wrong reason. The video, which I'll play here in just one sec, is posted on September 21st by Lauren Zaris. Shows her boyfriend, Robbie, known to be on the internet as the Couch Guy, surrounded by friends sitting on a couch next to 3 other women. Many as 106 or 126,000 people who have commented on the video, which has been viewed over 6 million times, which is miraculous because that's what they have to do. They got nothing else going on. Suggests that Robbie, in fact, was not happy to see his girlfriend, Zaharis, when she came home. Someone went as far as accusing him of being unfaithful to her. Now, in the video, let's see if I can find the video here. And Dan, we're going to have to slow this down. You can watch this video as well. Hold on. Here's the video. Now, you guys can see this video as well, and the way you do that is go over to properradio.com, click on DeaconLive, and you can see this video in real time as we're talking about right here. Now, Dan, here comes the girlfriend.
Yeah,
okay.
See her with the backpack walking in the door.
And they're walking in the door, and it's behind her, so the camera's behind her, and she walks in. So everyone's kind of just hanging out watching TV, and she's got like her luggage bag, like she just got off a plane or something like that. And she's like, I don't know, just So here's the couch guy. You see him right here?
Yeah.
Who's sitting next to him?
3 girls to his right.
All right, and we'll play the video, and then I'm going to dissect the video here in just one sec. You ready? And he's like, "Oh my God, you're here! I can't believe it." Now, if you haven't seen your girlfriend, a love of yours, in a long, long time, is that your reaction?
Yeah, they seemed okay to me.
You sure? He just kind of got up and kind of hugged her.
Well, they're college kids. They don't move too fast.
All right, so he hugs her. So let me show you something. I'm going to show you a couple things. So as he's sitting, hold on, let me see. As he's sitting, let's see if this thing. Let's see. The armchair detectives and the internet sleuthing has long been a niche in the internet. So let's see the days. Let's see some scene where it actually talks about the actual scene. Some say sleuthing helped draw out the attention of the case. Hashtag Gabby Pieta. Okay. Harm the good. Duffy says the couch guy given departure from the existence. I'm just reading this, scanning this real quick, Dan. And drop it. So here's what they're saying. If you watch the video, all right, if you watch the video, okay, so she comes in, the couch, quote unquote couch guy is sitting on, if you're facing the couch, he's sitting on the left-hand side. He's got 3 girls next to the right.
To the right of him.
Now, I'm going to go frame by frame here.
They're all dressed.
Everyone's dressed, and they're watching like TV or something. This is someone's apartment. You can see there's a sliding glass window and stuff. Now, if you watch, he's sitting there like, oh shit. She's sitting here, the next girl over. Can you see it okay on your screen over there? Now, watch what he does. He leans forward, and watch his right hand goes underneath his own arm, and then her arm comes out from underneath, from behind him, meaning her arm was like kind of wrapped around his bottom side, and his phone was next to, watch, you just have to see it. Ready? So there he goes. See, there's his hand. You see where it's going? Yeah. He's going to bend over and try to laugh, like he's laughing like, oh my God, you're here. So he leans over, laughs. He's grabbing his phone. Now watch her hand come out. When he leans back, watch her hand come out from behind him. So he's got his phone. There's her hand. Do you see it?
Yeah.
What do you think's going on there, Dan?
I don't know. And they could be just good friends. I don't think too much of it. So
come on, Dan. I mean, if that was your boyfriend, you haven't seen him in years.
If I had a boyfriend, that would be real creepy.
Well, I mean, if that was your girlfriend, you haven't seen her in years, and then all of a sudden something like that happens, you wouldn't be, hey, I saw her hand a little too close to my property.
Well, I'll tell you a story. Before I was dating Kathy, we were driving around in a Mustang. My sister was driving. I was in the passenger seat. And 2 of my friends, Eddie and Carl, were on the window seats in the back, and Kathy was in the middle. And Eddie put his hand up to grab Kathy's hand, and Carl did the same thing. And they were both the hands were touching. They were rubbing the hands back and forth.
I love you.
Except Kathy's hands were between her laps. And the 2 guys had each other's hand, and then Kathy lifted her hands up, and they saw it and freaked out and pulled the hands away. So,
queer.
Yeah, it was one of those funny moments. So.
All right, Dan, you ready for Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I am ready.
What do you got plans for Thanksgiving?
Football, and I'd like to make a turkey and make a big turkey.
Yeah,
just me and Kathy.
You have people to come over or anything?
No, just me and Kathy.
Just you and Kathy? Just
quiet day, yeah.
Just sit there and look at each other?
Yeah, and they got a FaceTime with all the relatives.
Well, good. Now, Popeye's right now, God damn it, these fucking articles. Popeye's right now is put your order in now. Now, I've never done this before, but I'm kind of tempted to do it this year just because we don't know. There's a turkey
there's a shortage.
Yeah,
yes.
There's a turkey shortage out there. Popeye's Cajun turkeys are coming back this Thanksgiving. Here's what we need to do and how to order.
Yeah, mark your calendars. Popeye's Louisiana Chickens bring back its fan favorite Thanksgiving staple ahead. The fast food chicken chain confirmed that it will start taking pre-orders for its Cajun-style chickens on October 18th at participant restaurants. Yep, and customers will need to call or visit their local restaurants to reserve a bird. So that's last year they cost $39.99. So the turkey's hand-rubbed, infused with zesty Louisiana Cajun-style seasonings and comes pre-cooked. Turkeys need to be re-thawed before reheating.
I think you need another cup of coffee is what you need.
Yes, we're doing that.
So they come pre-thawed before reheating, so we put them in the oven. I want to do this because, we here at the French, it's my wife and I, her sister-in-law, and her 3 nieces come up. Now, the 3 nieces now have, one of them's been married, so there's another guy, so that's 7 people. I want to do this turkey. I want to try it. I want to do it. I've never done it before.
You like spicy. It's going to be hot and spicy.
That's fine by me.
How about your guests?
Who cares?
Okay, that's the way to do it.
We're going to do 2 turkeys. We always do 2 turkeys because everyone wants leftovers and everyone wants, all the other. I want this. There's not enough legs to go around. There's not enough thighs to go around. There's not enough, whatever to go around.
And Thanksgiving is a day of thanks, so they should be thankful they got anything.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It's overrated.
Yeah.
All right, when we come back, we'll dive into a couple other things that are way overrated, and we'll wrap up the show and let you guys get back to what you got to do. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back.
I went to Popeyes once. Oh, it was awful.
I know. They're horrible.
I'll take my chances that Aldi's will have one.
No, I turned this around because you don't have your laptop on, so your face is red.
Oh. I just got to hit them.
Duh. On all the other platforms. Ooh. Stink bug. Do you have a stink bug problem at your house, Dan?
No.
Good. You.
It's me. And I don't...
I don't have legs anymore.
I don't back out into streets, and I try to not take left turns across traffic. If I'm going to do I'll go to the furthest place, take a left in there, and then take right turns all the way back.
That's how the UPS...
Yeah, the same thing.
Yeah.
So. UPS driver got killed, hit by an airplane. California, small airplane crashed, hit a UPS driver driving down the street. He was killed.
I thought he was in the...
No, the UPS guy was in his truck. I saw the charred, burnt truck.
Yeah, I didn't read the article. I just saw that UPS driver and CEO killed. I was like, what the 2 of them are doing together, hanging out, having lunch. All right, here we go. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on all your social networks, and the way you do that is go over to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio, click on Deacon Live, or click on the social contact section, and you can see all the links that links us to you and you to us as well. Make sure while you're there, you get yourself some free swag. Fill out that form. We'll send it out. We'll send all the information, all the swag out to you. And I'll make Dan actually lick each and every envelope.
No, I'm getting a sponge. I'm using a sponge. They have labor laws here in North Carolina.
And just pick out what package you want. Normally, we'll just send one of everything out to you, so make sure you get those. And make sure you follow us and like us on all our YouTube, Twitch, and all those other live streams and stuff. And you can see us live here in the studio, me swatting the friggin' flies around. Now, Dan... I always start my sentence out like that so everyone knows what's going on. Now, Dan, do you know who Demi Lovato is?
Yeah, she's a singer.
Now, do you ever seen an extraterrestrial?
Yes, E.T.
Now, if I ever said the word to you aliens and referred to extraterrestrials, would you ever get offended?
No. And when I say aliens, I think of people from outer space.
Do you?
Yeah.
What if I said there's aliens and we need to build a wall to keep the aliens from coming in here in the United States?
Then I would think something else.
Now,
usually they use the term illegal aliens.
Now, what if I said I'm going to build a dome and keep the aliens from...
That's what I would think is outer space. So.
All right. Grammy-nominated pop singer turned UFO enthusiast, also pansexual and all the other stuff that she's a mess in herself. She OD'd a couple times. You know that, right? She says, I think we have to stop calling them aliens because aliens is what is that word right there?
A derogatory term for anything.
Yeah. And that's why I like to call them ETs, extraterrestrial, which means, is that more derogatory? It's like calling a black man, instead of calling him the N-word, you call him a African American?
Yeah.
I mean, do they want to be called African American?
Yeah.
Do they want to be called ETs?
Yeah. And
easy on the microphone, Dan.
I know. I get so carried away. But, this political correctness has to, some way you got to stop it.
No, what I'm saying is political correctness, yes. But she's saying we shouldn't call these people that, of course, right now don't exist. There's no proof of existence. She says we don't want to call these people that don't exist this term. Yeah. So let me backtrack a little bit. So I was watching the movies that made us, season 3 on Netflix. There was an episode that was called, basically Aliens with Sigourney Weaver or Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah, that was a scary. Ridley Scott did that, 1979.
And the second one, first one was called Alien. The second one was called Aliens because there was more than one. They don't call it Aliens 2. They get you on that. So is that movie offensive to the things that she was?
No.
Where do I draw the line, Dan?
I just think that she's thinking if people talk about illegal aliens and we got to build a wall and we got to keep them out, and that offends her.
So are we not allowed to call them UFOs because they're unidentified flying objects? They are identified. I can see them right there. For my God, it's a flying object. Can we just call them FOs?
Yeah.
How about FU? All right, Demi Lovato?
Yeah, but Carl Sagan said something that was very interesting. He said, either there is other life forms out there in space or we are the only planet with life forms. He goes, either way, that is staggering. Just a staggering thought either way.
And how arrogant for us to think that we're the only smart species in the whole entire...
No, I don't think we are. And just turn on the TV. We are not the smartest species on the planet.
Well, if we're sending Shatner up in space. I mean, come on.
I mean, look at Lassie was able to get Timmy out of the well. Dogs are smart.
Now, Dan, we just missed National Coffee Day last week, and we know that Wendy's is producing a frosty flavored coffee, and you're a big coffee drinker. Now, you almost had an episode. You almost passed out. You OD'd.
I didn't pass out, but they
had to call the cops and everything out there. They got you on the cameras.
No, usually I have a certain amount of caffeine during the day, and I'm usually working and doing other things to burn off the. And I went with Kathy. I rode around, did a little shopping, and I pretty much did nothing all day. And at 4 o'clock, I had an extra large coffee from McDonald's, which I shouldn't have had. And it wasn't like my heart was racing, but I was I was tired and couldn't go to sleep. But I also...
So you had anxiety, like coffee jitters.
Yeah, anxiety. And I didn't have any jitters, but I just felt weird, not myself. And I was trying to walk up and down, walk back to the mailboxes.
You're okay now, though?
Yeah, I'm okay now, but it took, and I drank a lot of water, but it took about 5 hours to get everything out of my system.
Now, a disturbing tweet from Hellmann's Mayonnaise. Yes, the mayonnaise company.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of Hellmann's Mayonnaise?
Well, I'm a Miracle Whip person, but there's certain things I get from Hellmann's, like the chicken recipe that you gave me.
So Hellmann's right now has a disturbing tweet that is disgusting everyone on Twitter. Hellmann's is saying right now... Take that away.
Yeah, mayonnaise is an incredibly versatile condiment. Of course, it can be enjoyed in sandwiches. There's other many uses for it. Well, dips, dressings, tuna fish, of course, potato salad. Some people put it on their fries or they dip their fries in it. But now they're making a suggestion that has got people concerned. The tweet simply reads, "Mayo in your coffee." That's it. That's the tweet. For those who are unaware what mayonnaise is made of, its main ingredients are oil, egg yolk, and vinegar. So when Hellmann's recommended followers try it in their coffee, they got some pushback.
So would you try mayonnaise in your coffee?
Yeah, I would try it.
Would you? And if you do, Dan, do me a favor.
Yeah.
When you do, I say if you do, when you do, can you take a video of you trying it and do a cup, do a video, put whatever, like a teaspoon, tablespoon, whatever, instead of, because you don't do sugar in your coffee. Yeah. You just do creamer.
When I get home, I'm going to do that.
Are you? Yeah. And take a video and send it to us, and we'll post it on the.
Yeah, I'll try that.
All right. Now, someone that's been trying to get away for the last 2 years is this elk. Now, this is all the light and fluffy stuff. These are all the articles that people on Facebook and our fan page has been sending to us. And the way you be part of that is, or the way you can be part of that is go over to profitradio.com, click on social contacts, and post your articles on our page. And this is one article right now. For the last 2 years, an elk has been roaming around the Colorado wilderness with a tire around its neck.
Wow. Look at that.
Now you can see, it's a huge elk. Now it's not You know, it doesn't have the big horns and all that stuff.
No antlers, just some ears. I can see.
Some ears.
You can just has ears, but you can see where that tire would fit over the head easily without being forced onto them.
Now this picture right here, and let me make sure that we can see this. Yep, we can see this picture, and this looks like. Not for nothing, at any time, he looks like he could get out of that. You know what I mean? He could probably tuck his head down or put his neck down, and that tire would probably roll right off his neck. It doesn't look like it's hurting him. It doesn't look like it's strangling him at any point. He's probably just walking around like, I've got a brand new pair of shoes. I got a brand new pair of roller skates.
And that was an awful song by Melanie. But I can see where that, He looks like he could easily get it off. Just put his head down. Or
so
something.
this is a picture from a trail cam from July 12th, 2020, near Conifer, Colorado. For more than 2 years, this elk has been roaming around the wilderness with this tire around his neck. The young buck was first spotted in Colorado Parks Wildlife by an officer in 2019 who was surveying the population of the Rocky Mountain bighorn sheep and mountain goats in the Mount Evans Wilderness, about 40 miles outside of Denver. Now, he came across this elk right here, and
being in the wilderness, we really didn't expect to be able to get our hands on the elk just because of the proximity of the distance away from civilization. It's harder to get. The further they go back in the woods, it's harder for people to get near them. They're going to chase and run off.
So the good news is they were actually successful. And if you want to see this video, here's the video right here. The saga of the bull elk and the tire around his neck is over, thanks to the residents. Thanks to the residents just south of Pine Junction on the sea. All right, so here's the video right here. So let's see. There he is. I guess they, I'm going to say, oh, look, he's got horns now.
Well, they cut the horns off. I would cut the tire.
Yeah, why would you cut the horns off? And it looks like they probably tranquilized them or something like that. Yeah, I mean, look, now he's got 2 years of horns on his head, and
no, that's not. You cut the.
Oh, there he is.
Off.
Look at the felt. See the felt on his horns?
Yeah, now you can see why they can't get it off. But you cut the tire, not the horns. It's probably they probably wanted to sell the antlers.
Probably.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to hurt them, and they'll grow back, but.
All right. Nonetheless, well, don't they use them for defense? In the herd and the pack?
Yeah, I suppose they can. So.
Well, it didn't look like he had any followers or anything. Well, he probably has followers on Twitter or Facebook or anything like that.
With the tie around his neck.
Or TikTok.
So he's retired now, or is he untired?
No, he's retired if he gets another one around his neck. Now, Dan, you ready for this? This is the last and final story. Bear with me. Can you describe your worst first date ever?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should I censor this for your wife?
No, it was a girl called Mary. We went out for dinner. Had a small burgers or something like that, a Burger King or something.
You had small burgers or
no? We had burgers, and then went back to her. Her house. Sat on the steps for a while, and then we didn't talk much at all. And
How old were you?
Probably 17 to have my license, and then she talked to me and said, we didn't talk much because you're not really crazy about me. She says, no. I said, I don't. And she goes, well, that's fine. That's okay. And I got up and left. So it wasn't, So the date lasted about, 2 hours. But she did go up to me and said, there's another girl, a friend of mine, that would like to date you. Would you like to do that?
What are you just handing people off left and right? What do you live in a small town with like 30 people?
Small town, yeah. And it was more than 30 people. And she said, I have a friend that would like to, would you like to try, date her? And I said, yeah, I'd like to try that. And, we'd ended friendly. And the girl she introduced me to is Kathy, the wife I've been married for.
Is it really?
47 years.
Well, congratulations.
Yep. And I tell her, Mary, I still haven't forgiven you. So.
She's still around? She's still alive? I mean, I'm not saying that.
No, Mary's still around. We talk to her and stuff.
The funny thing is, Dan, my wife and I, that's the almost exact same story of our first date when I first met her. We went to dinner. I picked out this real nice restaurant that a friend of mine worked at. We sat there. We had dinner, and kind of chit chat a little bit. And then I was like, going, "All right, you want to do anything else?" I don't know. I'm like, well, I got some other stuff I got to do. See you later. She's like, see you later. I mean, it was like an hour and a half, and then I got in my truck and called my best friend, and he's like, how'd it go? She doesn't like me. And then she got home and called her friend. I love him. And then here we are, 17 years later. Oh, not 17. I'm sorry, 7 years later that we've been married. Been together for almost 13 years. But so there you go.
Another success story.
But my worst date, this is the worst date I've ever had. I say worst date, it was just chances and happenstance. So I met this girl.
Did she have a dick?
No, she did not. I made sure. It wasn't that time in our nation's history where everyone was like doing that stuff. I met this girl at a club. Some guy was hitting on her, and I came over and I saw she was in distress, and I'm, the knight in shining armor. I went over there. I'm like going, hey, she's with me. Blah, blah. And I said, are you okay? Are you fine? She's like, yeah, thank you very much. He was being annoying. I said, okay, good. She's like, hey, thank you very much. Can I get your phone number? And I'm like, yeah, at the time we just had the flip phone. So we went out on exchange numbers and went out on a date. And we went on a date, and I picked her up, and I had a 1970 Volkswagen Beetle Bug. And it was what they call the California Lean, where it was slammed down in the front and the big tires in the back, and it was low-rided, and it had the big stereo system.
Did she even get in the car?
She got in the car, but the problem was I didn't have a gas gauge. So we drove around, we went to, out to eat, we went to this place, we went to that place, and then as I'm driving her home, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, my car literally ran out of gas. So I pull over, and we get into the gas, cruise up to the gas station, and we're sitting there.
How did you cruise up to the gas station?
Well, it's going to die out. You can feel it in a Bug, with that kind of gas system. And we pulled over into the gas station, and they were doing shift change. Shift change back in those days took an hour, especially at 2 o'clock in the morning. We sat in the parking lot or in the gas station for an hour. Like, so, did you have a good time?
So, do you run out of gas often?
You run out of gas often. But, needless to say, I had money to pay for gas finally. And when you do shift change, they have to turn all the pumps off. You can't fill up with gas or anything like that. And so I'm like, all right. And then, pulled up and dropped her off. I'm like, call you later. She's like, no, you won't. And I'm like, okay, see you later. And drove home. That was the worst. That was the only thing that stuck out in my head.
I'm seeing a pattern here. You got gas gauge doesn't work in this one. You let me drive a truck with no speedometer. So
well, the little
speedometer
Nissan
is right there on zero, and the gauge is a little bit bent.
Now this woman right here. TikTok likes to do these things, tell us that you're over 40 without telling us that you're over 40. Tell us that you have kids without telling us you have kids. It's those TikTok videos. Now, this one video right here from, let's see, what's her name? What's that? Elisa Myers? Elise Myers?
Yeah.
She goes, tell us about your worst first date episode in 20 words or less. So here she goes about this first date. Now, Dan, I don't know if it's going to compare to yours or mine, but listen to what this girl had to say about our first date that's going viral right now. So here we go.
What's the worst first date I've ever been on? I'm so glad you asked. I'm going to tell you right now. Before I met my smoke show of a husband, I was on dating apps. As you do. This man messages me out of the blue and he goes, I like your face. Let's go get some food. I love food. Are you my soulmate? He says, meet me at my house. I will drive us to the restaurant together. Why did we not just meet there? I have no idea.
So she met this guy on a dating app, and then now they've set up a date and they're gonna meet up at his house.
45 minutes to his house. He's standing outside of it. He walks up to my car and he goes, I've lost my keys. Can you drive us there? Should I have just left him right there and gone home? Yes. Did I? Absolutely not.
Red flag, right? Red flag.
Yeah. He gets in and starts giving me turn-by-turn directions. He could have been leading me to an abandoned warehouse and he still would have been like, left at this stop sign? Okay. We end up at a Taco Bell, which is fine. I'm like, dine in or drive through? And he's like, drive through. And I'm like, great, he has a plan. We get to the speaker and he just leans over and goes, I would like 100 hard-shelled tacos, thank you.
First date. First date.
We get to the window. He does one of these numbers. I'm like, did you forget your wallet? He's like, yeah. I was like, do you need me to pay? He's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah.
So already, she's already. I mean, how many red flags have you heard already?
Yeah, there's probably 3 already.
So here you go. Here's the. Get ready. It gets very, very intimidating and suspenseful. So here we go.
I buy the 100 tacos, and I'm like, where to next? And he goes, back to my house. And I was like, okay, this is happening. I'm committed to this now. It's happening. We get to his house, we walk in, his dad is on the couch. I'm like, he lives with his dad. It's fine. The hoops I am teleporting through to convince myself that this decision that I have made is okay is just wild.
And this is the first time she's been on the dating app.
Into the kitchen. He just starts emptying the boxes of tacos, just releasing them onto the table. Puts 2 chairs at the table, sits down, and he just screams at the top of his lungs, "Let's feast!" I am just calmly unwrapping my taco.
Politely.
And taking a bite of it. We are eating hard-shell tacos in complete silence. You can hear both of us chewing. It's absolute chaos. The dad walks up, grabs a taco. There's 100 of them. We have so many to spare. He's eating over us, just like standing. Doesn't sit. Stands right next to the table. Crunches, mouthful. He just looks at me and he goes, "Do you want to see my studio?"
So the dad of the kid says, hey, you want to step into my little private photo booth over here?
I have never wanted to see anything less in my entire life. It was that moment that I decided this date was completely over, or else I was going to be killed, 100%. I am now just like collecting the tacos because I paid for them. I walk out with boxes of tacos in my purse. I look back and I was like, thank you for this experience. You will never hear from me again.
So there you go.
You know what I don't understand?
What's that?
Why is your shirt backwards?
Oh, because the way, if you do a selfie, the camera on the front of your phone makes the shirt backwards. I don't know if you ever knew that there, IT Dan.
He says, meet me at my house. I will drive us
So
to the
100
restaurant
tacos,
together.
she paid over $146 for all these tacos. Because each taco, I think, is like $1.39 plus tax.
I could eat maybe 4 or 5 if I was really hungry.
I would get probably down 6 of them.
He gets in,
6 of them with water, like Joey Chestnut. I'd probably down like 6 of them. And then, here comes Dad, stepdad over.
You'd have hot sauce on them too, right?
Oh, I'd have a lot of hot sauce on them.
Fine.
And then you would see, my stepdad that I'm living with, probably my handler or something, to get tacos at the house. So this girl spent $146 on a taco driven night. I mean,
wow. Yeah, that is probably the
one for the books.
The craziest first date story I've ever heard.
All right. On that note, I'm going to let you guys get back to what you got to do. Think about all the things that we just talked about here on Deacon Live. On behalf of IT Dan.
Yes, it's been a pleasure. It's been a nice day.
My name is the Deacon saying good night and good night.
Wait! Come back!
This is the end. The absolute end.
To the camera.
What?
Okay, now you can wave. Why do you your hand, because of the light and stuff, your hands look like this will be black and white, but it looks like Cheetos.
But my monitor's got a white screen on it. I don't know.
All right, there you go. All right. Thanks, guys. Take care. Good night.